The perfection of renunciation, text 54. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kangsati sama sarvesu bhutesu mad bhaktim labhate paramam. One who is thus transcendental, situated at once, realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. To the impersonalists, achieving the Brahma Bhuta stage, become one with the Absolute is the last word. But for the personalist or pure devotee, one has to go still further to become engaged in pure devotional service. This means one who is engaged in pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord is already in the state of liberation called Brahma Bhuta, oneness with the Absolute without being one with the Supreme. The Absolute One cannot render service unto him. In the Absolute conception, there is no difference between the served and the servitor, yet the distinction is there in a higher spiritual sense. In the material concept of life, when one works for sense gratification, there is misery, but in the absolute world, when one is engaged in pure devotional service, there is no misery. The devotee in Krishna consciousness has nothing for which to lament or desire, since God is full. Or living entity who is engaged to God's service in Krishna consciousness becomes also full in himself. He is just like a river cleansed of all dirty water. Because a pure devotee has no thought other than Krishna, he is naturally always joyful. He does not lament for any material loss or aspire for gain. Because he is full in the service of the Lord, he has no desire for material enjoyment, because he knows that every living entity is a fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and therefore externally a servant. He does not see in the material world sometime as higher and someone as lower. Higher and lower positions are ephemeral, and a devotee has nothing to do with ephemeral appearance or disappearance. For him, stone and gold are of equal value. This is the Brahma Bhuta stage, and at this stage is attained very easily by the pure devotee. In that stage of existence, the idea of becoming one with the Supreme Brahman and annihilating one's individuality becomes hellish. The idea of attaining the heavenly kingdom becomes phantasmagoria, and the senses are like serpents whose poison teeth are broken, and as there is no fear of a serpent with broken teeth, there is no fear from the senses when they are automatically controlled. The world is miserable for the materially infected person, but for a devotee, the entire world is as good as Vaikuntha or the spiritual sky. The highest elevation in this material universe is no more significant than an ant for a devotee. Such a stage can be achieved by mercy of Lord Chaitanya, who preached pure devotional service in this age. Text 55. Bhakta mam abhijanati yavam yaskasmi tatvata tato mam tatvato natva visate tad anantataram. One who can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service, and when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and his plenary portions cannot be understood by mental speculation. or nor by the devotees. If anyone wants to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has to take pure devotional service under the guidance of pure devotee. Otherwise, the truth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead will always be hidden, as already stated in Bhagavad-Gita 7.25. Naham prakasa sarvasya. He is not revealed to everyone. No one can understand God simply by erudite scholarship or mental speculation. Only one who is actually engaged in Krishna consciousness and devotional service can understand what Krishna is. University degrees are not helpful. One who is fully conversant with the Krishna science becomes eligible to enter into the spiritual kingdom, the abode of Krishna. Becoming Brahman does not mean that one loses his identity. Devotional service is there. As long as devotional service exists, there must be God, the devotee, and the process of devotional service. Such knowledge is never vanquished. Even after liberation, involves getting free from the concept of material life. In spiritual life, the same distinction is there, the same individuality is there, but in pure Krishna consciousness, one should not mistakenly think that the word visate enters into me supports the Muni's theory that one becomes homogeneous with the impersonal Brahman. No, visate means that one can enter into the mode of Supreme Lord in one's individuality to engage in his association and render service unto him. For instance, a green bird enters a green tree not to become one with the tree, but to enjoy the fruits of the tree. Impersonalists generally give the example of a river flowing into the ocean and merging. This may be a source of happiness for the impersonalist, but the personalist keeps his personal individuality like an aquatic in the ocean. We find so many living entities within the ocean. If we go deep, service acquaintance with the ocean is not sufficient. One must have complete knowledge of the aquatics living in the ocean depths. But because of his pure devotional service, a devotee can understand the transcendental qualities and the opulences of the Supreme Lord. In truth, as it is stated in the 11th chapter, only by devotional service can one understand. The same is confirmed here. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotional service and enter into his kingdom. Thank you.